C major. G minor. Got you there. Hello, it's Tom Donald from the London Contemporary School of Piano. Today I'm going to show you some better ways to practice your 2-5-1s. So many jazz students struggle through their 2-5-1s and they study all these textbooks and all this theory, you know, which are the 10 different shapes I can play it in and all of the different configurations. And then when they go to actually have to play 2-5-1 in a piece of music, they either don't recognize it's there or the pattern just does not comprehend to the fingers. And there is a fundamental disconnect with so many of you that I see between theory and actual playing the piano. No different to, let's say, a famous sports person is about to kick a goal in a critical time in a match. You can study all the theory you want. It's not going to teach you how to kick the ball at that moment when you need to do so. So if I play a 2-5-1 shape in C major, obviously, I have a whole bunch of different ways I can express that. I can express it in different registers on the piano. I can express it with different rhythms. I can express it with different textures. I mean, one of the fundamental things that is missing from so many people's playing is groove. And if you are really serious about making some big strides in your practical piano progress, not just more theory for the sake of theory, I have a groove mastery, a groove everyday course, which is just a very in-depth 3-hour masterclass with supporting videos and supporting backing tracks and materials to get you more into the musical zone. But onto this 2-5-1, because I really want to show you ways to transform your 2-5-1 practice today. So we've got different textures, different ways of playing 2-5-1. So the first tip I'm going to give you, this is a really important tip. Do you remember when you were at school and you learnt your times table? Do you remember any teacher ever telling you that you shouldn't learn it in a chronological sequential order? Well, it's exactly the same with 2-5-1. You don't want to learn 2-5-1 in a sequential order, going around the circle of fifths. And there's a reason for that. It's because most songs don't play 2-5-1s moving around the circle of fifths. So practicing 2-5-1s in a scale-like way around the circle of fifths will actually have a very, very limited effect on your playing. So instead, you want to get creative with your 2-5-1s. You want to learn to practice them randomly. Yes, this is jazz. And by the way, there's no such thing as random, but that's a conversation for another day. I want you to just pick out 2-5-1s. Now you can pick them out of a hat. You could write down 4 or 5 keys you're very familiar with, put them in a hat and just draw them out and just play it in that key. Then out of a hat, the next key. You want to be agile enough to move around into different keys just at the call of a request. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to randomly play sequences of 2-5-1s in different keys. Play along with me. If you're sitting at your piano at home, we're going to go nice and slowly, and we're going to repeat each 2-5-1 sequence twice just to give you time to settle into it and to relax. And let's see what we can do together. So we're going to start in the key of G major 2-5-1. So remember, when I call G major, the 2 is A minor 7, right? Because it's the second chord of G major, just to clear up any confusion there. So, a G major 2-5-1. We're going to do it twice. Just play along with me. F major. B flat major. A flat major, B major, A major, C major, G minor, got you there, C major again, B flat major, G flat major, F minor, A flat major. This is the song that never ends, or it sounds like an endless Bach-Bacharach middle eight section that just goes on for infinity. And there's a reason for that, and that's because all 2-5-1s are largely compatible with each other. You could just jump around all of the scales and they all sort of play in a harmony with each other. And that's because of the magic of the Western tuning system, the equal temperament circle of fifths tuning system. It's so important to really mix things up and to avoid being sequential. And for many of you, that will go against your learning style, because your learning style and the way that you like to operate at the piano is sequential. And then the problem is, when you are too sequential in your thinking, you will hit a wall straight away. And that's the jazz wall. And it's time to now, once you've hit, if you're one of those people that have hit that wall, well, you should head on over to our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, to start a new journey. Let's just say you have hit that wall. What you want to do now is now learn to look at branches of the tree, the musical tree, and not walk down this narrow path of just theory for its own sake. Because getting into the zone and getting into the groove is one area that is really just not taught in textbook. I have a groove mastery, a groove everyday course, which is just a very in-depth 3-hour masterclass with supporting videos and supporting backing tracks and materials to get you more into the musical zone. And it will cost you a mere $25 US or 20 British pounds, whatever currency you locally use. And to access this course, just head on over to our website if you want. That's one way of doing it, Contemporary School of Piano, and just email us and ask us about the course, or you can visit the link down below in the description and get immediate access to the course. And that's if you want to go that extra step. Now I'm going to show you one more trick that's a little more advanced. It involves a little bit more quick movement across the piano, and it's what I call 2-5, 2-5, 2-5, 2-5, 1. So it's where we play a bunch of 2-5s without the 1, and we just randomly change key. So I could go 2-5 in C major, 2-5 in B flat major, 2-5 in G major, 2-5 in G flat major, and then 1. I decided to resolve in G flat major. So let's just try this as an exercise. We're going to go C major, A major, G flat major, D major. I hope I remember this. And I'm just going to go 2-5, 2-5, 2-5, 2-5, 1. 2, 5, so that's the C major. 2, 5, that's the A major. 2, 5, that's the G flat major. What was the next key? I think it was D major. 2, 5, 1. So we could have something like this. Let me practice that in a few other keys. Let me try that again. Now, what I was doing there, and this is a good way to start with a more complicated exercise like that, is I was moving down in semitones. So I was, let's say I could do a 2-5 without the 1 in F major, then a 2-5 without the 1 in E major, and I'm just going down in semitones. And then I decided to resolve a bit later on. So the music has got that constant progression of moving forward, and then it resolves sometime later down the track. And this happens in so many great jazz standards and jazz classics, particularly some of the more complicated ones, such as Giant Steps. You get lots of that instability, like lots of 2-5, 2-5. In fact, I don't even think instability is a good word to describe it. I think some musicologists call it instability. I call it musical voyaging, moving through the different scales and really pushing the Western tuning system to its absolute limits, and not just staying in a safe, I'm in this key, to really moving and jumping around different keys. And getting that into your musical mindset is going to make a huge difference. And if you really need help getting to that next level of changing your thinking, it's not just about learning a couple of new tricks and learning a couple of new bits of theory, because many of you are noticing that's not really working anymore. It's not really cutting it anymore. So if you're one of those people, you should visit our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, and there's 2 things you could think of doing. You could think of getting the Groove course. It'll cost you a mere $25 US or 20 British pounds, or whatever local currency you use. Or you could just contact a member of our team via our website and ask about our coaching. We coach from students from all over the world. We are a very specialised and small team, however, so if we're unable to work with you, we do have our free resources pack as well. And those free resources pack are also available just by request via our website, and they are an accompaniment for the many videos we have on our YouTube channel. So keep up the good work, keep up the practice, but now it's time to start getting creative with our 2-5-1s.